Hello and welcome, Cosmic Quantum Travelers. I hope you're doing good as everything is shifting. The shit is lifting, literally. I just made that up. And it's the end of time, and that's the end of the illusion, okay? Going super quantum, no more time, okay? I have said this many times before, but no time out of time before has it been more important to transcend it fully, okay? And I know there are many guides out there and teachers that like to give prognosis depending on dates and even the year ahead, and everybody's finishing with December and, you know, kind of we're done here. Which we are, but just not in a way that most people see it is happening, the way I see at least, okay? So this is also a continuation of my last video. I did say it would be my last. Now, I will continue to transmit what I'm guided to do, although I really didn't want to do another video. I'm like many people, more than ripe for a holiday and just having fun and relaxing. And I also thought last week would be a lot of that. And although that was a lot of that, but it was mainly a total collapsing of all what was, literally, of fully anything. I was just very busy in, first of all, close to burnout. And I think many of us have felt that because first of all, we are having all these clearings, and then people like me, we hold a lot of frequency. We are running a lot of codes and keys and activations in the grids, not just what I'm sharing here. This is just a very small part of what I do. And, you know, a lot of us don't ever talk about what we're doing behind the scenes. And believe me, we will be rewarded as in by ourselves as we are igniting New Earth now, which is our New Earth abundance, okay? And there is just the old matrix overlay, synthetic, which you're seeing most of when you look out there. And then there's the organic creatrix field. That's all I see. There is no in between. There is no false 5D ascension and slow repair work. What I'm seeing is that 95% of this reality is all fake synthetic overlays. And beyond that is the organic creatrix field. And we are starting to see through this, literally, through our own eyes. And many of us can feel it, whatever our gifts are. Some, you know, are more clairvoyant or claircognizant and clairsentient, whatever it may be. If anyone is wondering, I've been asked this question several times before, how I know what I know, is first of all, my main gifts are clear cognizance, so just knowing things, and clairsentience, feeling it. So when I see, it's more like an inner sight. It's different to having visions or being able to see auras as such. Although I'm starting to see the synthetic overlays, for example, the false sky. So I was shown this over a week ago. And again, we all have different gifts, and obviously there's more we have, and they're all igniting really powerfully. There's such powerful downloads coming, so much clarity, so much remembering. I'm very clear on what I'm here for. I mean, I always have, but it's like all the puzzle pieces are literally coming together. And what's also happening is that at the soul logos level, we're literally healing the logos, okay, which is the monadic blueprint, the core monad, cosmically, as well as at a planetary level, because we're here from all these different star races and galaxies and universes. Interdimensionally, we are connected. And again, we're all one tribe as the source tribe, okay, we all come back from. But again, what I see a lot of this is synthetic, and that's literally all being fully dissolved, okay? This is literally the last evaporization is basically done. Like, especially today, I could see fully this pole shift energetically, fully stabilized, completing. So it's literally we're having plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, as I was explaining in my last video, within the planetary field and within those of the forerunners, which is stabilized now, the new energy field, which is also known as the butterfly pattern. And I'm going to share some visuals today of that because it's very activating, and I wanted to do this before, and I have shared them on my page, Facebook especially, before a few times, but just to tie it all a little bit together. So to give the visuals to what I was explaining last time, and this is really helping now the forerunners, or the 144, so the core monad, which is literally like which I've been shown has been, we've been all fragmented. So within our own field and within the collective field and then the cosmic monad, and that's all healing. So all the fragments where all these demons and negative entities and all these shadow bodies and aspects, and it's literally fully like, it's all just the whole Russia body, dark matter body, like abbreviations or distortions have been fully reset today. So we're freaking done here energetically. Let's just evaporate the rest. I wish I could say I was busy with my inner child, but I was busy clearing and activating. But man, we just absolutely blew the lid off everything, okay? The ones that have the inner knowing that see the grids, they know what I'm speaking of. And others can feel it, know it in any other way. Everybody receives messages differently. So my main gifts are clear cognizance, clear sentience. So I just know things that just come to me. I see things in the inner side, a picture shown to me, and I get a whole download with it, and then it unlocks. And also because I carry a cosmic ascension blueprint. So basically I've been shown as I ascend, we all ascend. This is planetary ascension. And that's why I also get the keys and codes, or what I'm being shown is a very big picture of the cosmic ascension process, focus on our planet. But it's a macro. And as I work, I always work with the planetary body. And basically that's also why I'm being shown these things often first. And they're very much quantum, and so much, as I've mentioned before, that's what's been happening, is everything is quantum completing. So especially what I've been writing over the last year, within the last 2 years, it's very much all quantum completing, and I'm being shown this. So everything is interconnected with the DNA upgrades, the clearing of the morphogenetic field, the tribal shield, our Merkaba, fully activating, which is also connected to the pole shift. And this is also connected to the masculine and feminine merging in hierogamic union now. And again, on energetic level, this has completed. And I see this as masculine and feminine having their own sovereign energy field, fully healed. Again, the morphogenetic field. And again, everything I speak about is mainly for the forerunners, and it then goes out to the field. So it's what's becoming available, okay? But everybody is at their own stage of the process, okay? What I've already cleared and activated and what's available to them. So, but ultimately we're all quantum completing as the one consciousness now, because this cosmic monad is fully healing all this fragmentation as the one mind, one body, one soul, logos. And that's what the 144 carry within their blueprints, okay? The 12 or 13 original tribes, and which are also the magic gray queens and kings and the cosmic dragons, which just carry these original blueprints, keys and codes, also connected to the grandmother codes. I'm going to leave a link about this below, which is very much connected to Lemurian times and the time of Mu, and literally our origins and the original blueprints of creation, which some of us carry. And especially the feminine over the last week will have gone through a big void space. And what I've been shown, or what I've been going through, was a whole collapse. I was literally at a place where, and I still am pretty much, like, we've taken neutrality, nuclear, and I was like at a place where just war could have broken out outside my window, and I would just have had, just relaxed and just watched the show, so to say. I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't have moved, nothing. And literally just not giving a shit about anything anymore. And everything super quantum collapsed. Everything. I've just seen it. It's done in the field. And when I say it's done energetically. And now we will see the physical collapse. And what I'm seeing is that over the next 2 weeks, linearly speaking, and I'm doing more of that lately, although we are not linear, we're quantum, I see the pole shift completing physically for the planet. And again, we need to go beyond what people believe is going to happen, because ultimately this is a holographic projection. Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration, and normal physical 3D laws do go out the window pretty much as you enter the quantum physics realm. So I would implore you to implore quantum physics, I posted a video the other day on my Facebook page. I might try and remember to post a link later under this video as well in regards to the time, space, and basic gravity, which is all the same or interconnected, do not exist ultimately. So these are all 3D constructs, and the same, again, timelessness is the underlying frequency we are hitting right now, as we've totally transcended our ego death to rebirth into the oneness, rebirth of as our new Christ Saphira, the new androgynous cosmic citizen blueprint, where the masculine and feminine are one, but where you're still so fully merged as one masculine, feminine, and divine child in the Holy Trinity, but I'm still in my feminine body, obviously. But we're still fully integrated, balanced, harmonized. And this then is now projecting out the heavenly realities, because we're now seeing through the eye of God, clearing all of the distortions, all the seals, membranes, implants, it's all gone. And as this now happens for the forerunners, this goes out into the field. So again, what I speak of, I know this is what I'm doing for the field. And this is all quantum completing. And yes, as soon as we bring in language, we bring in past, present, future, it causes separation. It's him, her, them, us. So because I posted something today and somebody mentioned, oh, it's confusing because you say, you know, it's completed and then we're healing it. And yeah, again, depends on where everybody's at, but it's quantum completing at a collective level. And we have resolved this for the one consciousness. And the twin flames are literally leading that process, or however we want to call this, divine partnerships that are anchoring the new relationship templates that are at the core of society. That all comes back to the relationship we have within ourselves, masculine, feminine, divine child. And then as we have unified that within divine union, within, we then can project that out into healthy relationships around us. And I know many of us at the moment feel very isolated and alone, but that's part of the process. You just let all the old realities go, totally nuclear neutrality, okay? Let it all go. And really you align with divine will. You let go of any goals, anything you want, anything you don't want. You just become totally okay with the now moment, okay? From that 0 point field of divine neutrality, which is the still point, that's where you collapse and you have access to other quantum realities. And that's very much connected to the stargates and us aligning through the realignments of the Merkaba and the poles fully to source and running the butterfly patterns, which is eternal life, which is us fully clearing out the field. It's literally spinning out anything that's a distortion in the field. So it's fully healing the whole morphogenetic field, the tribal shield, the planetary original morphogenetic field is now fully healed and active. And we're just waiting for the moment in our time where literally the supernova of the heart event is here. Any moment now. What some call the solar flash. I see it as a cosmic heart opening activation. Because this is where our monadic activation is happening. The heart is our stargate to the higher dimensions, and it's where we connect with, you know, our soul and the higher consciousness. But it's obviously all one big quantum multidimensional technology. So it's not just about the heart, but it's very much the key to all of this. So love literally it's a frequency. It's a sound wave. It's basically that which is fully that frequency of pure divine love that we are holding now, part of our embodiment, is us seeing through the eye of God, and that's totally dissolving all the synthetic overlays remaining. And that's when we would see the organic matrix behind it. And I very much see the twin flames are part of that. What I've been seeing and experiencing is they are healing each other, whichever way this is happening, whether you're together with your twin flame, whether you're just connected telepathically, or they are, you know, not embodied on the planet. It can happen in any way, shape, and form. Ultimately, divine union is about divine union with God. So that's you fully transcending your false, separated ego self and becoming divine will embodied by letting it all go, coming the still point. Okay, you become the 0 point field. But it doesn't mean that you don't have emotions or nothing. It's just that nothing, you're not going to be resisting anything. You're not going to be judging anything anymore. You're not going to be, you're just, whatever is supposed to happen, I know is in highest divine order, and all you can do is shift your focus. You can shift the way you react to things. You can, have your highest intention and, to impose on your reality, but you can't control it. Okay, because everything again is a divine co-creation. Not much is said here. So how exactly this is going to shift? I don't know. There are a lot of volcanoes erupting right now and earthquakes happening. Gaia is shifting, we are shifting, and we are holding the balance here. Okay, and we are responsible for co-creating or igniting, tuning into the new earth ascension realities through our frequency of that of divine love, which is overwriting all the false realities, which are energetically already collapsed. So now comes the physical collapse. So December is always a very intense month, but it's basically, we're going beyond time. Okay, so don't wait for the solstice, don't wait for the 12-12. I mean, I've said this before, you just need to go beyond it. Sure, energies are amplified, but this is any moment now. That's where you need to be. Any moment now, everything's going to shift. Because it's ultimately the frequency, it's not time that shifts anything. It's a frequency. And we're beyond tipping point here. And I think we can see it. Revelations are here. Blindfolds are being ripped off. The truth that is everlasting and that cannot be questioned because it arises from within is here. Okay, the real truth. So we are really remembering why we're here and the true history, and it's all coming together. And that's what's overriding all of this. So everything else is being cleared from our field, all the AI, all of that stuff. So I'm just checking my notes. Also, if you would like to support me, I would very much appreciate that with a donation. If what I share does help you, I leave the details below. Thank you so much for anyone who has done, because I have to say, this last week, and I know many feel like this, it's been very hard to keep going in general, because what I've been doing has been all on donation over the last year, and it's been by guidance. But yeah, my ego has struggled, if you want to kind of charge for your things. It's not that I can't, it's just that I had to do what I was shown in order to, share the keys and codes in the navigational tips and instruction sets of the new consciousness, the cosmic consciousness, that help us ascend to the new organic divine creatives field, because I know I'm holding the whole timeline reality in my blueprint. That's why I've been speaking about this for so long, before really I think anyone else has. And it's not about this, and it's not about when I speak for myself, is ultimately we're all holding these codes. Okay, it's just that I also need to state these things, because I know even if I say like my work is definitely going to shift, but when I know I will always be doing a public role, so to say, what I've been shown, but we're definitely shifting towards fun. Okay, so we're now fully shifting into, like when I said my inner child had to kind of, basically I saw it and was sitting kind of off the bench, kind of waiting to play, like when you're going, playing sports. Anyway, so she was sort of sitting there but smiling and like ready to play. And today she came basically and she's ready to play. So we have a lot of fun in front of us whilst it all collapses. So, but don't be deterred by, people having a hard time. We're here to anchor the new frequency. We are here to anchor the new earth reality. So you need to merge with that fun, or not need to, when you're ready, when you've purged all the crap, okay? When you're ready. But this is, when everything comes online. And I believe also that's a lot what the twin flames are doing, because I can feel there's just so much that's opening up as they really come together in the physical. And literally what they're doing, as I see many of them come into divine union in the physical, they're bridging the dimensional gap. Or what I also saw is, and I'm going to bring this in because I don't often do, something more personal. So basically, my divine counterpart, twin flame, I haven't ever spoken to him face to face. So it's been a very interesting journey over the last few months. And let's just say I got to a point where I was on the 30th to the 31st, again, total, everything neutral. And I was just so done. I've mentioned before, it's a lot about you know, waiting for, you know, the masculine, especially for the masculine, to kind of literally see me for who I really am, and you know, to come to union again, you know, in the physical. So anyway, so I was just at a point where, okay, you know, there's a limit and there are boundaries to, I have a lot of understanding and a lot of compassion, but then there's also obviously self-love, where at some point we just need to, if something is draining us or is taking too much of our attention, we just need to kind of say then, okay, there also comes a time or a frequency where we just need to let this all go, okay? And because I had a experience before where it took me a long time to let go, and it's all, you know, as most people know, the whole twin flame experience is a very challenging journey, and I basically just really had enough of everything, the whole ascension, the whole twin flame, all of the stuff. So I just really tried to let go, and I went into total annihilation. I just, please, just totally clearing my field of any connections, attachments, cords, whatever. Although we don't really have them anymore, but we've been, you know, evaporating all of this. So anyway, trying to cut the connection. And then basically that night, after I went really like, and I couldn't, it was just getting worse as I was trying to cut, although it was clearing my field, and there has been a shift since, like another kind of reset of the connection. But basically I was just kind of fighting. It was literally fighting mind versus heart. And I think many people might have experienced this week as, you know, fighting with the ego, which is kind of the same thing. So the mind and the heart were fighting. And although I kind of knew the higher answer, I need to go right into it. So I needed to feel all of this, all of the frustration, and just like, I'm done, and just let it all go, and just don't want this anymore. Anyway, so that night I had a dream, and I don't remember many dreams, but the dream was that literally as if we opened a physical portal, and he lives quite a far way away on another continent. So basically, like as if we open up a physical portal and we kind of kiss for the first time, like in the physical, although we have energetically, etherically connected to our light bodies, not like, this was literally physical. And I only remember the next day after a few hours of waking. But it's like, that was so real. Like, I've had a lot of experiences. They certainly just mind blown. So what I'm seeing is they literally are bridging, they're transcending time, space, and gravity. Because they're building portals, they're, you know, activating each other. The energy fields are merging. And I literally feel one with him. And I can also feel, you know, you can literally start to feel into each other's bodies. But you don't, you know, it's like an on-off, like you can, you know, like the connection is very strong, but like, I'm just sharing it because I think it will help other people also to understand what's happening, what are the opportunities here, and what's becoming available. So what I'm seeing is they're literally bridging the dimensions, and they're literally healing the wall in time, they're healing and they're merging the dimensions and realities, and matter, antimatter, because they're particle, antiparticle, the masculine, the feminine. And it's also with the pole shift now that they can be in total harmony and balance. It's because plus minus, plus minus, plus minus, plus minus. So there's no more, there's no more push-pull. So they've met each other in the 0-point field, which is collapsing all of the event horizons. So that's the 0-point field. So they meet in the singularity and within the 0-point field. So that's how I see this is at the moment happening. And that's what they're doing, which is part of it. Obviously, these are many kind of roles they play, and what they're doing depending also on the coding and what each one, you know, has as gifts and abilities. And there will be many overlaps, same as in wounds and traumas. So anyway, wild. I see a wild rodeo ride ahead of us, but a really fun one. So the child is coming out to play finally. I'm happy because mommy and daddy are now happy, and it's safe to come out because the monsters are literally evaporating. Okay, that's all I can see. Now, this will clear at physical level. People are already a bit crazy. Let's see what happens. You just need to hold a 0 point and remember you're in a video game and you're the diamond avatar. You are your ascended master self. You need to see through the illusions. You need to see through time, through space, through gravity. Okay, transcend it all. Because it's all part of the illusion. You free the illusion. It's literally the time matrix, the false time matrix. As long as you still follow time, you're stuck in time. That's karmic cycles. You need to fully transcend it. And yeah, it's difficult with language. And I know that post also because it was actually a post from December, 1st of December 2020 that I edited and extended and changed because obviously we're now completing what I wrote about then. That's why these are all quantum posts. A lot of what I see as reminders and memories on my Facebook reminder page are literally, it's all quantum messages. And I've seen this for a long time. We often have that. It's quantum. There is no time. Already we're transcending time. It's been circular. And this is the end of time, the end of the yugas, fully. But you need to become your eternal diamond avatar self that sees through the illusion of the matrix. And no matter what happens, and again, I see 95% of the shit is not real. And we need to remember what's really real and focus on this. And if you feel, you know, we can't trust people around us and we're really isolated, that's why, because a lot around us is just fake. So know it for what it is. Also out there, it's just mental illness. A lot of it, okay, the people who are struggling. And it's in general what we've been suffering from, the collective psychosis. So know it for what it is, okay? So time isn't real. It's not real. It's a 3D concept, okay? Or it's all happening at once. And we're collapsing all of these timelines. We've been clearing all of the stuff out. And what you're seeing is like kind of an echo of the old realities. And it's all collapsing now. All right, the physical, it's going to happen. So the 0-point field is also you collapsing the polarities. A lot of ascension is about polarity integration. So you with the 0-point field of divine neutrality, you collapse the polarities, okay, which is also the masculine and the feminine. All right, and you can see this plus, minus, matter, antimatter, okay, heaven and earth, all of this. These all the polarities that are playing out. And we're collapsing it all within the 0-point field of divine love and neutrality. And that's literally birth in the divine child. It's the Christ as Sapphire, the new androgynous, cosmic, citizen divine, you know, or divine human blueprint. And it's also happening within the light body of the planet. And it's also connected to the macabre activations, which is literally balancing out your field. It's the masculine, the feminine, and divine union within your field, everything balanced out, your field healed, the morphogenetic field of the planet, all happening, all completing, today completed. Now we will see this playing out where then the old can go offline. The magnetic field is already cracked, totally weakened. We have constant solar wind storms over the last couple of weeks. We have consistent solar flares, a couple of M flares the last few days. We have very interesting Schumann resonance spikes that are really showing to me the interweaving of the different dimensional layers that we're literally doing. And again, the twin flames are leading that process as I see this, as they're integrating the polarities between them, the opposites. And that's literally what a lot of the ascension process is about. And we do this, and anyone, again, helps us do this ultimately, okay? So I also saw on the 30th what was really collapsing. I could feel what's a lot happening between the twin flames is ultimately, and what everything comes back to also is, again, the separation we feel from source and then from one another. And it's really the fear of abandonment, the fear of rejection. And we have this collectively, and that's why people are not as their authentic self, because early on in life, we learn we should be like this, we are like that, and we are not being rewarded or encouraged to be our true authentic self. So that's on this journey, we're peeling back all these false layers that made us try and fit in. And that's really the key to everything, the authentic self. That's you igniting your divine blueprint, your own unique blueprint that nobody can tell you who you are. And that's also constantly expanding. I mean, who I was yesterday is not the same, or last week or last month, constantly expanding and changing. Okay, but the core ultimately stays the same. And at the core, we are all love. And that's what we're remembering now, that we are all one. The one consciousness rebirthing itself. Okay. And again, it's very much connected to the whole inner divine union, the Holy Trinity, divine masculine, feminine, divine inner child. Rebirth is one, which is what's happening right now. Okay, it's all happening right now. It doesn't look like you think it does. The ascension is kind of happening slowly, and then there's also going to be that supernova of the heart event. And as I say, the pole shift completing now physically. Now, energetically happening with no forerunners, you feel much more balanced. Every distortion has been literally spun out of your field and cleared. Everything has been, this also makes you feel, the whole macabre activations are also going to make you feel a bit dizzy and lightheaded and so forth, and nauseous. Again, you know, take care of your body. Also the DNA activations and plasma light body activations, they can be very hard on the whole body. But it's all for the good. No, it's all coming into balance, all into alignment. It's all interconnected. It's bringing the new online, okay, the new field. The old is going offline. Know it for what it is. You're in a video game. You're the diamond avatar, okay? And yeah, and what we released also was this whole abandonment fear. I could feel this so strongly in the field, which is, again, based on us being afraid to be our true self, not being... Usually we're kind of complaining that we're not seen for who we really are. But then when we're seen for who we really are, we're also afraid. Because then we're being shown, and what's reflected is any insecurities or parts of us that we don't still love about ourselves fully. And that's what we've been finishing now, okay? So self-love changes everything, okay? It's the key to it all, but true self-love, where you really have examined and really looked at yourself, not pretending, and really knowing your true self. And then you know yourself as source. Nothing is outside of you. You've fully transcended your false, separated ego self. You've rebirthed within to the unity field, which is the new grid current, the tri-wave, the trinity wave, okay, which is, again, masculine, feminine, divine child in perfect union within your field, which happens on many layers and levels. But the macabre activations and corrections that are complete, that are very much part of this. Also, what I'm seeing is the cosmic mother has literally been inhaling and exhaling creation as part of this rebirthing and reset. So that's also what felt much of the void space, and all returns back to source, back to the mother's womb, for our cosmic rebirth and reset to complete. And that's really what I see with the supernova of the heart event happening. So like a kind of reverse Big Bang, in a sense. But again, how that exactly plays out, just let go of the illusion, okay? You are infinite consciousness, eternal, and this body is just a tiny fraction. But really don't worry, we're going through this whole body process not to be, you know, vaporized as such. So, but certain things and entities and all the synthetic overlays will, okay? Now, and what we can really focus on always is, because somebody said, how do we heal this? I mean, it's a very encompassing question. And this is really all what the whole ascension process is about. And healing happens in many ways, in shapes and forms. And I don't think there's any one teacher, any one healing or methodology or, you know, that activation that will ever just be the answer. You know, there will be many different things we do along the path and way. And what works for me doesn't always work for you. But ultimately, what it comes back to is you self-reflecting, being honest with yourself, contemplation, self-analysis, mindfulness. And when you sit down and have a conversation with yourself and ask these questions, and, you know, like park your ego aside, or like have a conversation between your higher self and ego, so to say, and find out why you feel angry or why, you know, this is triggering you. And you will get the answers, especially now, because all the interferences are clearing and crystal clarity, you know, is arising from within. And then once you understand why you are maybe protective or defensive, then you can love that part of you. Maybe next time you don't need to be that way, but you can put down, you know, a boundary without kind of getting defensive, for example, you know, things like this. But when we don't understand why we are the way we are, then you keep kind of, you know, not healing those parts. And ultimately, it's a shift in consciousness, us seeing things differently, what heals everything. It's not time that heals, because time isn't really real. So we're totally collapsing all of the timelines, okay, within the 0-point field of no time whatsoever, within divine neutrality, within the still point, where you remember your eternal self and you're just pure Buddhic consciousness, okay? Whilst you're also in your human body, so you're not like, you know, spacing out. We're grounded. We're bringing this all into the body. We're literally merging the God worlds into the physical, okay? So let me just bring up a couple of slides to finish this off. share screen. No. This is basically also the butterfly pattern, but it happens on, can't get this, okay. But it basically happens also within our own body, which I'm going to show you. So I run this in my own field. So I run basically an 8 configuration up and down, and then also from left to right. And then basically this pattern. And then also, oh yeah, the tricetta, which is the triple spiral up and down. So these 3 flows that we see there. Now you have to figure this out for yourself, because obviously I'm doing this through the camera, and it took me a while to figure it out for myself. All right. And you really need to, if you want to run this in your field, otherwise you just give your higher self commands to run the butterfly pattern. It's in the field, okay, it's active. I always allow my higher self to override everything my human self might get wrong, okay? Your intention goes a long way, really, okay? And the rest is 10% technicals, all right? And we are remembering them, okay? But here are a few slides. I just wanted to show, and I was asked to show, so instead of us, having just a torus also in our own field and just north to south, we're also running this in our own field again, okay? Where you have the energy now running in horizontal and vertical Merkaba lines and field. So this is basically, so it's also called a Yan-Yang flow, which is basically the butterfly pattern. And the opposite then of that, or the old, let's say, template, is the yin-yang flow, which basically, so this is how Earth used to be, and we've now corrected this. So the poles were in the wrong place, which have been also physically proven to have wandered. Okay, so they're already shifting the North and the South Pole. And to actually go back to its original North and South axis for us to be again fully reconnected to source, because the old, which also is being called the poisoned apple or twisted Merkaba or Death Star Merkaba, don't fully agree with all of those terms, but anyway, which is basically us feeding all the loosh or negative energies into the phantom system. But I've also been shown this is actually also, because everything is positive and negative, okay, the paradoxes again. So what I'm shown is, as we're fully clearing the reset, it's like as if this is already created like a phantom, like an ambiotic sac that's collecting all the negative energies, the phantom matrices, remnants, so to say, and it's basically fully being dissolved as the full reset completes at a physical level. So these are all ascension mechanics. What I'm showing is different slides from different people and pages. This is, for example, from Angelic Humanity. I think the thing before was from the Azurite Press. This is from Ascension Glossary. That's bi-wave to tri-wave. So this was the old pattern, the polarities without the neutrality. So that's the Holy Trinity, our tri-wave Trinity pattern of the new unity field, which is also connected to the crystal spiral patterns that are running through our fields now. And it's the new Trinity wave, which is bringing harmony to our systems. This is the Tree of Life, 12-pointed Tree of Life. That's how it should look like. Okay, this is our base, what we're working with, the base kind of geometry that's also connected to the stargates. And these are how the kind of the Merkaba vehicles also connect, and the electromagnetic spiral pairs merge to form a Merkaba vehicle. And then the still point in the middle links us to various time-space locations, okay? That's not a very good Ankh picture. Don't have a clearer. So we have different configurations in our field, and I just wanted to show a few slides. I talked about the antibody before. Also look this up on Ascension Glossary if you like. She has a slightly different picture of this, which is basically light body vehicle and multidimensional. And again, there are different layers to this. And this is just another visual to the Stargate portals, and then the different densities, which again are all merging. Okay, we're merging with Earth, with Tara, Gaia, and Aramartina, which is Ascension Earth, further densities up to 15D. Okay, the organic creatrix field. We're going beyond what many thought possible. I think that's enough of this. And then just gonna which was for me the easiest way to share. I know it's not the best way. Anyway, now here we have the soul matrix. I just wanted to show this again as in a soul oversoul matrix. Okay, so you have different sets. Here is a soul matrix. And then you have one incarnate here. Okay, just to show you. So soul matrix is composed of 12 incarnates, all right, which would be the soul level of the identity is stationed in harmonic universe 2, which are dimensions 4, 5, and 6. So HU is a word for a short form for harmonic universe. And basically then the soul identity in density 2 projects itself into density 1, which would be usually dimensions 1 to 3, which are now kind of fully moving up. Okay, it's like kind of fully collapsing this and everything is moving up, all right, the dimensional layers. And then in a log of 12 simultaneous incarnate identities. Okay, so at the same time you have 12 simultaneous selves running around in density 1. And at the highest level though, you have then also the monad, and it means here, so at the soul is 1 in a clock of 12 soul identities. Okay, so you have a clock and you have these different souls. So for example, also twins, one might be 6 and the other at 12. That's kind of the last incarnational kind of setup. Because that's also why you have sometimes maybe other twins that you come across from your own soul matrix, but they're not be the highest match, so to say. Okay, so you can also have a combination of 9 and 3 and so forth. But usually in the last incarnation, at least as I'm also kind of seeing this, you will come across like kind of your perfect match, so to say, which would be the 6 and a 12 combination. So anyway, so in our soul is the one, our soul is, for example, number 1 in the clock of 12 soul identities that make up our oversoul, that is stationed in harmonic universe 3, which is dimension 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so that's the next level up. That's the oversoul. It's also known as the monad. So this means there are a total of 144 density 1 incarnate identities at that level. So you have 144 at the monadic level of soul identities that are part of your matrix, okay, soul matrix. So higher self, when we speak of higher self, ultimately, you know, we're going God soul self. We're merging with God soul's consciousness. So that's infinite. That's all souls altogether. Yeah. So, but just to show you, that's then the oversoul matrix. So that's your oversoul matrix, okay? Because it's good for people to notice, all right, that we have a lot of incarnational selves running around and to integrate and merge. And the more higher your coding is, the more incarnational selves you have. So at a minimum, as a normal 12-strand DNA human, although we're doing 13 strands now, physicalized DNA potential, you have 1,728 simultaneous selves, okay, running around. That's your avatar. That's your avatar. Okay. So that's just showing the same thing. And this one is the same again. And that's, for example, also a representation of the diamond sun body, which looks very similar to what we've just seen, okay, as your soul 12 monadic identities unified. Okay, looks very similar. Okay, now, how do I get out of here? And lastly, just to show So this is how the butterfly pattern runs then in your own field. I'm going to share these tomorrow on my Facebook page, and I try, but the problem is on YouTube, I can't always share every visual. It won't allow me to post everything depending on the quality. Like this will not take. So I do it on my Facebook page. I don't know how else to do it. I can't do it here on YouTube. So check that out if you want to. So that's running in your own field. That's the Merkaba. That's kind of the core. And that's, again, that's also then in your field, the 12-pointed tree of life. These are also the spheres I've mentioned before. I just wanted to bring this in, the nodes in the tree of life on the 12T grid. That's kind of how our chakras are changing. But again, you have then the other layers above it as the Ankh body as well. It's all kind of, to me, kind of collapsing in one field. But then you still have those layers. And then these are also the different Merkaba vehicles. Oh, I think I need to go back to the other slide. Depending on which dimensional layer, like whether it's your soul identity, oversoul, avatar identity, or rishi identity, that's then activating. Okay. So yeah, that's from the freedom teachings here as well, best. So they shift, and then it looks more like a star. Although there's a different picture somewhere that's even better. So you also see that's also then here kind of Earth, planetary Katara grid, tree of life, and then your own. And what I'm seeing is that Earth, and that's also what I'm seeing with the whole sheep and animals going in circles. I very much see this as part of the magnetic field shift and pole shift happening. I also feel they're doing some kind of grid work and amplifying the energies. I very much feel it's connected to, you know, certain energetic grid points in the Earth. And animals do play a big important part in grid work. And what I'm seeing also, and some go clockwise, some are anti-clockwise, which again is also what we're running in our field. So the lower kind of part of your Merkaba usually goes anti-clockwise, and the upper one clockwise. And that's what I'm seeing right now. We're reversing, as in from that level, that our whole Merkaba runs anti-clockwise, and the Earth Merkaba runs clockwise. That's what I'm being shown. So I'm spinning everything in my field generally, like ultimately anti-clockwise. But, you know, you still have your Merkaba spinning in both directions. And then more than this, it's like literally like a, what's it called? What's the word? Yeah, that's the Ankh body from Ascension Glossary. So that's your light body. And I'm just gonna share one more slide I wanted to show. I think, or did I? So this is then, you know, when you see the spheres before within your field, you then, this is kind of on top of it as inner world domains, 9 to 13D, middle world domains, 6 to 8D, and core of creation, 14 to 15D, and then your outer world domains. But again, you also have the Ankh body. It's not to confuse too much, but it's good to use this to activate. But I think there was a slide here. Oh yeah, there's the embodied sacred butterfly pattern again. Again, it's very activating also for your field as part of Ascension. Okay. We had this. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to show. So this is the difference. So you have here the Metasha, which would be 3D body mind, then the Hala 60 Merkaba, then the Quadra, which is your oversoul Merkabic field 90, Mahunta, which would be your 12, the avatar, and then here you have the Rahunta at 15D Rishi. Okay, so these are the different Merkaba vehicles. Kaleidoscope, that's how I feel it in my field. I feel it as like a kaleidoscope. So anyway, enough of the sharing. Some nice visuals. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, it's also part of the activation, so to say. Let me just double check. I didn't really want it to go so long, but everything is always, these are keys and codes really for your ascension. And I know that they do support greatly, and it's an activation in the field, and it's an activation for you, and all that I transmit does help or is meant to assist you, to help you purify, clear, heal, balance, harmonize, and upgrade your whole morphogenetic field. Right? So I think that's it. We had solar plexus, sacral healing, activations and upgrades. Again, it's all healing in the forerunner's field. As this heals for us, it heals for the consciousness. The best gift you can give yourself right now is really focus on your own healing. And as you see, as you heal this within you, you heal your soul groups, you heal the tribes, you heal the planetary body, and it's all happening. It's all online. It's all happening. It's so to say on autopilot, but we still, you know, I very much have been busy activating this in my own field, in the planetary field, and clearing up the rest of the shit show, so to say. But I feel, and I really had to step back and just let it all go, because I think many of us, you know, we've been given so much and we've kind of survived and got to this point with very little. And we're all very tired of it. But now comes the rejuvenation, okay, and the fun. And also, I think us transcending the whole feeling of, you know, although in the aloneness, there's the all oneness, but then as you then see everything, everybody is a part of you and an extension of the one, and you no longer feel the separation, then the true divine unions with all of our, you know, soul family can come in. The divine cosmic reunions, divine counterparts with all of our loved ones, okay? This is a whole big cosmic reunion, okay? And it's happening from the inside out, all right? So it's happening now. I see the event happening any moment. It's going to be, you know, I don't want to mention time, but it is so much to remember, I feel. That's my biggest forecast, oracle abilities I can give you and share with you. I hope it has helped you, all that I've shared. I just do very, very short light language activation, but also if you want to check out the details below on my SoundCloud, there's so many I've recorded over the last year, especially, that are all here again to help you on your ascension journey if you want to enjoy them. And yeah, just let it all go, dissolve into the nothingness, which is the all oneness that everything is. And remember yourself as your eternal, already ascended diamond avatar self. Fully fearless, limitless, timeless, boundless. Remembering our true self. Unaskara esha tuku nakira enakira esanataraya. Una enashinataya. Ura enakaya. Ere. Ku ainanana. Ayekinayashe. Kurena terasu. Daneyanata. Tuyenakana. Eso que era en la casa. Kushuna tea tea tea. Hey, sa 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 ka ate es ka ekena. Na 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 na. Sekura shina tea. Ena sina tea. Una sea tea. Shu shu. Ekuna tea. Ayana se tera shu. Seonate, enaka, enase, enakanaseate. Sukana eke yo aira asata asara 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 asara. Una tera se kenasheate. Una tea ne kenasheate. Suna tea keake. Una inashe arasataraya. Kuyanake. Now, it is done, it is done, it is done. We're done with these old realities. We are waking up from the dream. The blinkers are off. The revelations are here. The truth is here. It's coming from within, without, and all around us. And as the old collapses, we are fully igniting new ascension earth right now, right here. Okay, so keep going within, keep going into your visions. Keep connecting with what you know is more real than what you're seeing all around you. It's from within. Okay, let it dissolve through the frequency of pure divine love. That's the key to our ascension. It literally is overwriting all that's false and artificial. Okay, as we can see reality for what it really is. So powerful activations continue. Higher heart mind, solar plexus, sacral healing. Again, the full body, match diamond, white rainbow, plasma, liquid light. It's also been a lot of gold, copper, rose, and Blu-ray infusions, and also a lot of golden, diamond, white, and platinum crystalline light, which I see as the Trinity wave, the God source frequency, Trinity wave. Currents running through the field. A lot of gold yesterday. It's literally golden, and the crystal cathedral activations, bringing the golden crystalline cities online, the house of God. Again, as we also see through the eyes of God, I'm projecting this now, and the sound and light fields, the true corrected sound and light fields, also with the masculine and feminine, are coming online, which is again bringing online the real organic creative field that we have not been able to see beyond that veil, beyond that synthetic overlay. So remove it. Okay, know it for what it is. Again, take what resonates, leave the rest. I share my message. That's what I'm here for. Okay, and I continue to do this in whichever way I'm being shown. And we do this ultimately for the one, for ascension, for the higher self of us all who get it. Okay. And we do it because we can't be and do any other way. Otherwise, my head would probably explode if I don't share. So, but we also need to really look after ourselves, all right? It's both and. So huge also connections, strengthening between the Earth's heart and that of Andromeda, because the Milky Way and Andromeda are twin galaxies that are unifying again. And it's very much connected to the collective heart activation, the cosmic heart activations, which again are connected to the supernova of the heart event. Huge activations of the crystalline core, loads of white and blue activations, like kind of blue-white lotus I see, which are kind of lotus heart activations. We often talk about the rose, and I always see both configurations within the heart, and they're just different, again, layers of light body layers and sacred geometries that are part of our light body. So my guidance would be just let it all go and allow complete closure of all that has been before to start all over again. Everything needs to be fresh and new. That's what I'm feeling now. It's also why I said, like, I just really feel what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. It's definitely going to shift one way or another. It's much shifts and changes about. I'm just ready for massive shifts. And it's like, just have no attachment to outcome. Just leave it up to God to surprise you, literally. That's when it all comes to you. Just totally let go, or you don't care. Whatever you need to do, it's different for everyone, because I'm so tenacious and so focused. I need to go really nuclear when I let go. It's just the only way I can do it. Okay. For other people, it might be different, but if you're someone who cares a lot, you might need to go nuclear. So letting go of any goals, visions, your ego self, what you think you need, you want, let it all go. Okay. Let God surprise you. And show you the way. Embrace the uncertainty and childlike wonder. Have expectation for bigger miracles, but like without, expectation or attachment to outcome. You just know good shit, good stuff is going to happen. Sorry, I don't want to use so many bad words. And we're going to get better at this. Anyway, that's my magic wand. So I'm just going to bring this in. And yeah, and I hope you can feel the quantum shifts that are happening within the consciousness, within your own consciousness. And this can happen like this. One day to the next, you just totally shifted and changed. I mean, it happened to me, and it keeps happening whilst the core stays the same. Okay. And we don't need to change who we are at our core. That's what we're kind of digging out again. Okay. Our own unique, quirky self. We are a whole vibe. And that authentic self is going to unlock your whole blueprint. Okay. Where you're just fearlessly, no more afraid of rejection, people not approving of you. You don't need the attention. You don't need the approval, although it's obviously nice, but you don't need it. Okay. And the same, obviously, money is not like showing us, that we have done good in the world, because that's, as I see, kind of going out the window. And abundance is many things, obviously, because we're getting abundance on all levels. Abundance in relationships, in love, in beautiful experiences. Okay, so keep tuning into this, keep creating your own paradise, your own heaven on earth as much as you can, to tune in and align with that quantum style, with the frequency of it already being here. You're already ascended master self. You're already healed. Keep merging with it. Don't focus on what's not right, what is right, what is working, what could go right, instead of what could go wrong. So we're shifting from negative outlook to positive outlook. Okay, it's a whole pole flip on all layers and levels. Okay, it's interconnected to all layers. What happens between the masculine and feminine? So there are no more at odds. There's no more friction. There is no more, you know, this push-pull. It's just totally neutralized in the 0 point now. And this will go out to all people and to collective, because again, they hold the masculine and feminine energies, the blueprints for the collective, the relationship blueprints, the Edenic paradisian codes, new ascension earth codes. It's all igniting as we ignite our heart, that frequency of divine love, and the ancient future self and our ancient future realities, which have always been there. And we're just tuning into them now as the old dissolves. Obviously, there have been many layers to this, and I have been reporting on this plenty. This is the end game, okay? This is it as far as I can see. That's all I can share. That's all I'm here for, okay? So take what resonates, leave the rest. Activate your DNA, the divine template of the 144 plus 3 as 1. It's all igniting, okay? We're crystallizing. Our crystal bodies are coming online. Our light bodies, our multidimensional DNA, quantum codes, let it ignite, okay? And the whole morphogenetic field is healing, and it's you invincible. And you become invincible ultimately as you fully transcend your separate ego self, because you know yourself as one, and then nothing can harm you anymore. You're Teflon. You're protected by God's code, cloak, shield. And, you know, whilst some separation is still playing out, and this is being cleared fully from the field. All right. So let us rise in love as one. We have fallen in fear together as one, and now we rise in love. Okay. And just keep seeing it for what it is. Let it all go. Dissolve into the nothingness of all that is. That's you being limitless, fearless, boundless, timeless. That's you transcending your false ego self. That's you becoming invincible. Literally. And timelessness is a big part of that. And interestingly, also, this is very much interlinked also with the gene keys at the moment. I'm not hugely into them, but I was like, I saw today that the timelessness gene key is active now. So perfect. This is the end of time. Keep transcending it. Stop looking at forecasts. You go quantum. I mean, it's up to you, obviously, what you want to access. But I'm accessing the quantum of now, of infinite possibilities, where everything is becoming possible now. And we access it by our frequency, as all the interference patterns and all the doubts and fears and insecurities have fully lifted, and we're fully stepping into our power and our knowing that we hold these blueprints within us, and that we are here to ignite this, and that we can, and that we will, and that we are doing it, okay? Because we really are. That's all I've been seeing. So it's all healing, womb healing, mass healing, trauma healing, wounds healing. All the cloning is clearing. That's been a big theme that's been coming up for me. The Merkaba, it's bringing everything into balance, okay? Reclaiming all of our body parts, aspects, soul fragments, our multidimensional self. Keep calling it back to you. Keep healing, keep unifying, keep going also natural. How would you do it if you were a child? And just ask, okay? Just ask. Ask yourself also to source and your highest, you know, which is you, your highest aspect, your higher self, your highest higher self. Is source, God source consciousness, which is what we are embodying. So ultimately, nothing's outside of us. You're asking all of this from yourself. But all of creation is part of that. So you're asking it to the field. Okay? So you're asking anything out of the field. So it might come in any kind of way, but you're not ultimately giving it to some angels or ascended masters or guardians or, you know, even God, because none of this is outside of you. So you know yourself as one with all. That's where everything becomes possible. You're not controlling it, but you're literally the universe, which is all that is. The whole of creation is conspiring now in our favor, as all the nonsense, all the interference patterns, all the blocks and hindrances have been fully removed. Okay, because it is so. It really is. Okay, I'll leave it at here. I have more written, but we leave it. Okay, so unify as one in divine origamic union. And big changes are afoot. That's for sure. So it's time to truly reunite with those that are in frequency alignment, because that's also how the cosmic monad heals itself and is healing that fragmentation, which I started the video off with before. So you can also see this as kind of like the diamond sun body representation, or your soul monad has been kind of split and fractured. And now we are coming back together as we are reconnecting with our soul groups. Okay. And it happens within and now also without. That's what I'm seeing. So many twin flames coming together, divine counterparts, soul groups, and that's going to ignite everything else. Because we ignite each other so much in the memories and the keys and codes and what we're here to co-create, and just have a whole lot of fun now. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. So let that be it. Let the fun begin truly. Okay, it's not that we haven't had any, but it's definitely been a lot of hard work. And depending on how much of the lifting we've been doing, it's not been so much fun. And I was laughing last night because I was saying, gee, literally everything, most everything I've done over the last few years has been mostly invisible work. And I've not seen any physical confirmation either, but I'm just so, I know what I see. I'm just so focused on it. And it's just, again, what I'm here for. And I just know, and that just showed me, oh my God, it's here. It's all going to become visible. Everything we've worked for, okay? It's all becoming visible because we're making it so, and we're making the impossible possible. And divine love is what transcends divine love is what transcends time, space, gravity, and all the laws of the cosmos. It really is boundlessness, okay? Now, let's do this. Let's have fun. Let's jump in. Quantum jumping completions are in full force, okay? Choose wisely. Keep listening to your higher self. Keep listening to your heart, your whole inner guidance system. It's all one, all right? And so much love, so many blessings. Again, if you'd like to support me, the details are below. Thank you so much. I would really appreciate it if you can. And thank you so much for those that have, and thank you so much for keeping the vision, keeping the frequency, keep doing the work, keep not giving up, even if you do sometimes, because that's all about part of it, letting go. Could see like giving up, but ultimately we don't. We just need to kind of go with it and feel it all. That's the most important part. Okay, done. Over and out. So much love, infinitely. And yeah, I see you. Bye, bye, bye. Blessings.